Welcome back. So it's time to turn our attention to that very important matter, petrol supply, its price and how it affects your pocket. What exactly is happening with, the lifting of petrol by the NNPCL from Dangote? And as marketers initiate conversation with Dangote Refinery, how would it affect, how accessible the product is to you? Maybe not necessarily lower price. Let's understand the issues as Mr. Chinedu Ukadike, spokesman of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, joins us. Mr. Ukadike, good morning and welcome to the Morning Brief.
Yeah, good morning and good morning, Nigerians.
So we hear, as we start off, that your association is about to commence conversation with Dangote Refinery on possible direct lifting of the product from Dangote Refinery. Now, this sounds like cheery news, but should Nigerians be moderate in their expectations about the possibility of reduction in price? What are we to expect? And, this is a valid question because Nigerians have had their hearts broken over and over again with the continuing increase in the pump price of petrol. So what really should we be expecting?
Yeah, it's just very simple. It shows that the liberalization of the market is on course because there is no way Dangote will be producing premium motor spirits in Nigeria without considering the independent market as stakeholders, one of the strategic stakeholders. I was also thinking that Dangote, the first point of call, not even NNPCL, Dangote, the first point of call was to discuss with independent marketers because the independent marketers have the capacity to be able to distribute every petroleum product produced by Dangote here in Nigeria. We have the capacity. We are situated in the nooks and crannies of this country. We are highly spread. And we have the number of filling stations. We possess over 75 to 80% of filling stations in Nigeria, strategically located in the nooks and crannies of the country. So it is very, very pertinent at this point that Dangote should discuss with the independent marketers. And I want to also let you know that immediately that is done and we commence directly lifting from Dangote, the issue of petroleum pricing and differential in pricing will be gone because what we are seeing here is what we call price disparity. If the independent marketers are now become dependent, because we are really supposed to break the bulk from our consumers.
And let me quickly follow up on that. You said if that is done, you are going to resolve the issue of pricing, if I got you correctly. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Does it mean a reduction in the price, a possible reduction in price?
Yes, it means that because it's going to give us an opportunity for a healthy competition. It is no longer independent marketers depending on another source to be able to get this product. Dangote also opened up to the independent marketers when he started producing his automated gasoline oil, that's AGO. And we entered into the market and we are buying Dangote's AGO. And you can also find out that when Dangote came in, AGO was around 1,600. Now, with the help of the independent marketers, we are buying AGO in quantity, and we are the highest patronizers of Dangote's AGO. As we are buying these products, we're also distributing to our customers, and we're also giving to companies. So it enabled Dangote to be able to spread this AGO, and AGO price came down from 1,600 to almost 1,000 naira and 1,100. And we're still doing more. What we are talking about is this is a deregulated economy. Every stakeholders and players should be given equal opportunity to be able to be able to compete. It is not.
Oh dear, we have connection issues through to Mr. Ukadike. But I was going to follow up by asking him how the independent marketers are moving past the challenge of NNPCL being the sole importer, so to speak, this issue of monopoly. But I guess he's back now. Mr. Ukadike, are you back now? Can you hear me? Okay, he hasn't returned yet. Hopefully he would return. But of course, that would be a major issue in the conversation that the independent marketers are going to be having with, Dangote Refinery. What is the disposition of the NNPCL, being the major corporation, the country's oil company? What is its disposition towards this conversation? Is it comfortable with, the independent marketers having this conversation with Dangote Refinery directly, with it still being the sole importer of petrol in the country?
I know Nigerians will also want to find out what part they will be playing in this seeming back and forth. Some have described it as a game, needless game. So what role will the petroleum marketers be playing? Will they change anything significantly, particularly with the pricing? And he has said that, well, with competition, it's meant to bring down the price of PMS or petrol in the country. So we need to understand how these moving parts will be moving, whether in favor of Nigerians or not in favor of Nigerians. That's the big one. That's actually the crux of this matter. Pricing and availability. Well, quality is also big, but pricing, availability, and quality, these are just the simple issues Nigerians want to know. They do not want all the seeming games. But I imagine that Mr. Okadike is back with us on this. You can land on the point you were making, Mr. Okadike.
Yeah, it's very simple. With the independent marketer, it was an act of parliament that brought us because of indigenization of marketing of petroleum products. Before, marketing was left in the hands of the big eight, that's the foreigners, who came into this country and was exploiting the oil and also refining the oil and also distributing. So independent marketers was introduced, the proponent of the independent marketers, we decided to bring in independent marketers to give the indigenous people an opportunity to market this product at the same time. And that is why we are not only situated in the major areas in the city. We are situated in the hinterland and villages. There is no place, any village in this country, you will not see the presence of independent marketers. So we are strategically located, and the proponent of this independent marketer did not also see us as the second tier of distribution. We are supposed to be in the first front. We are supposed to break the jinx of bulk purchase. We are not supposed to take these products from another source to another source. That is why you see the issue of pricing is escalated. If NNPCL will get product as the only source of this product, and they will give it to DAPMA members, DAPMA members might also give it to MOMA members. MOMA members might give to their colleagues. Their colleagues will now come in turn to now sell to the independent marketers. There is no way this chain of distribution will pass through without reflecting in prices. So that is why we are saying we are comfortable with NNPC. We have been buying product from NNPC. If the NNPC product is cheap or even cheaper, the independent marketers we are ready to buy. If Dangote product is cheap or even cheaper, then the independent marketers we are also ready to buy. We are versatile. We are two ways in this issue of distribution. What we are looking for is quality products and a less price.
Okay, so let's get this clear. You said two things. If NNPC's price is cheaper, you buy. If Dangote price is cheaper, you buy. That means that NNPC is still importing petrol. Am I correct?
Yes, they stated it clearly that they will continue to import. That is the beauty of deregulation. If the imported product is cheaper, if you look at rice. There was a time the local rice even becoming more expensive.
I understand, but help us understand this. How is it possible that imported product is cheaper? Does that imply that NNPC still continues to pay subsidy? And I think this is a given, but I'd like to hear from you because it really does not make sense. If we're getting this quality for this amount, how much are we getting that same petrol out there? I imagine the same price or even more. So how does it come in and it ends up being cheaper than what is produced locally? It has to be subsidy, right? Or is there any other explanation?
Well, I also believe that the government is trying to be very, very careful. I use this word, a kind of quasi-subsidy, whereby the government doesn't want to levy the burden of importation and some of these charges or on the people so that it will not skyrocket, galloping inflation. So it is now left for those who is managing the economic aspect of the country to be able to look at their position in terms of the imported products and also in terms of the product that Dangote is producing. I believe relatively that Dangote, after a kind of establishing his the refinery, like the way he did in Asia, will come out with his price, and the price should be made open. It's not that we're going to give NNPC the opportunity to determine, or federal government to determine price. When you look at that statement, there must be an underlying factor. I don't understand what led them to make such a statement that federal government will be the determining factor for their pricing in terms of PMS. But when you now produces AGO, you did not bring in the federal government. You did not say NNPC will be the sole off-taker of this product. So something is really fishing that with independent marketers we don't know. I want to let you know that what we are willing buyers, and for any willing seller who is ready to sell to us and will continue to be in business, we will do that. We will not want a situation where our counterparts will buy this PMS cheaper and we'll go to their hand to go and buy. That is why you see this desperation queue on the filling station. There is availability of products, but the problem we're having now is pricing. If you go to the NNPC retail filling station, you will see surge of vehicle trucks packed with loaded with PMS. And they are selling very, very cheap.
Let me quickly follow up on something that you said. You said the NNPCL is still importing. If that is the case, what if I may ask is the benefit of the Dangote refinery? If it's still importing, is it the last stock that it imported before it went into conversation with Dangote refinery and the announcement of that committee on sale of crude oil and lifting of petrol, or it is still importing actively after conversation with Dangote refinery? Please clarify.
Yeah, actually, when Dangote rolled out its PMS, there was a little problem between the NNPC, Dangote and the federal government. And Dangote was not giving crude. And Dangote was also asking that the crude should be sold to them in Naira. And because NNPC is not forthcoming in sending crude to Dangote, Dangote have to go and import crude oil. So there is a lacuna. The business arrangement was not stretching. And I also believe that I think they are starting to understand themselves. So NNPC will not keep hands in Akimbo and wait for Dangote to run to East Hams, or Dangote will keep hands in Akimbo and wait for NNPC to supply crude before he will start his business. Both of them have their two-way thing. So Dangote have also gone out of his way to go and get crude. And they brought crude into this country and they refine. NNPC is buying that crude oil refined product in dollar. Now, NNPC will not just watch Dangote, monopolize the market, or they decide to frustrate them, because it was also hitting on Nigerians. There was serious scarcity. Fuel was even going to close to 2,000 naira. So there must be an intervention product. Either NNPC has imported this product before Dangote will fix that. I'm also looking at Dangote's policy in terms of selling this product to them. They have to import to be able to cushion the effect and sufferings of Nigerians. And I also want to tell you that those products that NNPC has imported, most of them are coming in. It's cargo. And they will also be distributing it. They also have been given to independent marketers. Now that NNPC gave us their template, because one very, very sure of this is that NNPC gave us their template of selling petroleum products at 866 to 895, depending on the depot you are loading from. And then they said, we cannot sell a petroleum product at a cheap price like that. Our product is almost, they were not even really, really clear. But they said that it is not true that NNPC is buying petroleum product at 800. So if NNPC is selling to us the imported product at 879, 878, depending on the coastal depot you are taking it from. So what is waiting for Dangote to give us PMS at 1,001 something or 1,000? it doesn't make any sense. So it is for Dangote to be able to come down and be able to match the reality of NNPC. Because if NNPC can be able to bring in this product from somewhere in another refinery and was able to say a local refinery should also look at the semantics surrounding the business and be able to give us a friendly price that can connote that yes, Dangote refinery is here.
Mr.
So we support Dangote.
Right.
Yes.
And it's important to really put things in perspective here. We have to ensure that we support our own and our own people as well. But don't you think it would be fair then to have NNPC give a breakdown of the products they import? It was good they gave a breakdown of the one they got from Dangote. They did all of the addition. But do you know the breakdown of the one that the NNPC import? Have you seen that breakdown? Do you know how much it costs? All those different breakdowns till we get to the 800 plus that you get it from. Do you know the breakdown, Mr. Okadike? Has NNPC ever shown you that breakdown? Talk more Nigerians.
Well, to be very sincere and honest, I'm not part of, I've never imported product with NNPC, in partnership with NNPC. I don't know the breakdown, but as a marketer who is interested in buying this petroleum product and compete with other retailers, you also remember NNPC is retailing, DAPMA members are retailing, MOMA members are retailing. So I'm not interested in getting product where it's high. I'm really interested in getting products where it's cheaper so that our consumers...
Of course, I understand, and that's his business for you. So I'm curious that the NNPC has done that for Dangote's product, but they've not done it for the product they import. That's on the one hand. On the other hand is seeing that their breakdown now looks like petrol will be costing $950 to $1,000 plus, depending on what part of the country you are in. Can they find a way? Do you think it would also make sense for them to maybe introduce some sort of under recovery shortfall if it looks like the price of Dangote is higher from their own breakdown? Don't you think it will be fair for the good of the people as well?
Well, I think the NNPC and federal government are trying to make Nigeria realize what they are passing through, because at the point they say they can no longer import their oil, and when a country come up publicly to be able to say they can no longer import their oil, their importers and all the rest of them, you know that is a very serious challenge. But
they are still importing, Mr. Okadike. From what you say, they are still importing. Where did they get the money from?
No, I'm not a minister. I'm not the minister of petroleum. I'm not the minister of petroleum. So wherever they get the money, our interest as independent marketers is to be loaded petroleum product so that we can take to our filling station and have return on investment. Our interest, clearly, is to ensure that there is constant petroleum product in our filling station at a cheaper price, not a price that will be different from other competitors. NNPC said clearly today that they are selling, Dangote said they are going to sell petroleum products 766 naira to major marketers. We, the independent marketers, we are still buying 879 naira, 888, 886, depending on the coastal depot. And so how can we compete? We're almost, the major marketers or retail marketers are almost 112 naira, which is around 5 to 6 million naira before we, the independent marketers. So how we are expecting the independent marketers, who is going to take care of his logistics, his haulage, his staffs, to be able to compete in this industry? So the horse is before the cart. So we are saying that whatever that is good for the goose is also good for the gender. Give us our volume. If NNPC is the only source, we don't care. What we want is that NNPC should give us that volume. We don't want to take product again from DAPMA members. We're no longer interested in all this round tripping of bringing petroleum product. By the time the product will get to us, it was all getting to 1,200 naira. So how do we survive in this kind of competitive environment?
So, Mr. Okadike, is NNPCL going to allow this conversation happen? Because the implication is that you're going to break its monopoly if you're projecting that after this conversation with Dangote Refinery, the price at which you will sell will be lower. Will the NNPCL allow this?
Well, we don't care how the NNPCL feel, because I also believe that NNPCL will also mean good for the people. If actually we'll go to Dangote and Dangote give us a very cheaper price, knowing the strategic nature of independent marketers, knowing how we can be able to go and petroleum product, it is very, very even. It is insane that they should give us product through that man, they should give us product through NMPC. It's not right in a competition. What is the essence of this deregulation? When somebody says that there is a law, there is a PIA law, why are we breaking it? Why are we sabotaging the law? If we have placed law and Mr. President have said this economy has been deregulated, every player should be given fair opportunity, very good opportunity to be able to compete. We cannot compete alongside by side. You see a major marketer filling station, you see an independent marketer squeeze in between the major marketer and retail outlet owners, NMPCL filling station. They are selling at the cost they were buying. So how can we compete? This will want to chase out of this business. That is a problem.
So what's the potential in the reduction of price that you are looking at after this conversation with Dangote? What will independent marketers likely be selling petrol for if you succeed in this conversation with Dangote?
I will give you one little example. When PMS was around 195 naira, I beat my child and stand here firmly to state clearly that independent marketers were selling lower than 195, even lower than the template of the federal government. Because we know that these filling stations we have here, we borrow money from bank. And we need to pay back the bank. And the bank needs turnover. So anything that will make us cut corners, positive corners, to be able to sell the product cheaper, we will do that. We're not interested in making all the whole money. We're interested in doing a kind of a turnover and be able to pay our staffs and maintain our filling stations. We have the best filling station in Nigeria. So we are about to ready for this deregulation. And it's a competitive environment. So let them give us the product as they are giving to others. Then we can now go out and work our logistics. Some of us own our trucks. We might even take our truck transportation as part of our gain and sell lower than the NMPC. I want to challenge you on that. We'll sell lower than NMPC. But the most important is that let this product be given to us. If this product is not given to us, we are not buying from NMPC. We are buying from that man members. How do you now want us to compete in this kind of environment?
So
that's why when you go to
pardon me, when you say let this,
go to independent marketers,
right?
Independent marketers filling stations.
Right. So let me just quickly put this in. When you say let this product be given to us, by who? Who is not giving you that product? Let's just be clear here.
By Dangote. If this product is given to us by Dangote, we will do much better.
I thought
I also want to tell you that I also want to tell you that the competition will set in. We are ready. We have the capacity. We have the money. We have the storage facilities. We are strategically located. And if you look at the 21, because when you talk about distribution, you don't talk about distribution by trucking. You also talk about distribution by NMPC injecting their 21 depots. Once all these depots are being injected and the pipelines are working, the product will be much cheaper. What is causing this problem is cost of transportation and logistics and handling charges. By the time this product arrives in a filling station, you have spent over 4 to 5 million. You have to impute it.
Well, Mr. Okadike, let me get this correctly. So I thought that you had already opened a conversation with Dangote Refineries Limited. That's one. Let us know if there's a conversation on already and if there's a green light in that sense or not. That's one. Two is, you said that you buy from wherever is cheaper. So are you implying that Dangote petrol is cheaper now? And that's contrary to what you said earlier. If you're saying let them give us the product, is Dangote's product now cheaper? So those two questions.
No, the question is that we are anticipating to sit down with Dangote, and I think that arrangement is on. And any moment from now, the discussion will be wrapped up. So it is a gradual
has
process.
The discussion begun already? Have you started talking to Dangote?
No. Well, we have started. We have written, and he has also replied us that he's going to give us an opportunity to sit down and discuss. And I also believe that between this week and next week, that discussion will take place. And whatever that comes out of that discussion, we'll also make it public to Nigeria. That one is certain. And because we have been on the media, we are trying to ensure that people should understand the plight of independent marketers. Because most people look at independent marketers as those who sell petroleum products very, very expensive, that we are profit total, that we don't even care the feelings of the market. That is not correct. We are businessmen. Anything that will make us continue to be in business, we will do that. Definitely that one is number one. So we are optimistic. that this our relationship and business engagement with Dangote will be able to break this bureaucratic distribution of petroleum products from one chain to another. Also with NNPC, because the Port Harcourt refinery is coming up. We are hopeful that Port Harcourt refinery is coming up. And once Port Harcourt refinery is coming, we don't want to take our product from a second tier, third tier. We want to take our product directly so that we can be able to cut off all this unnecessary round tripping of pricing. You understand me? That is what we are advocating for.
So, Mr.
It's very, very clear and simple.
Mr. Okadike, let me quickly ask a question that had been asked earlier in a different way. So many have frowned at the propriety of NNPC's pump price following the lifting from Dangote because, of course, the importation cost is no longer there, port charges are no longer there, and therefore 950 naira per litre is unacceptable. Based on your experience in the industry, what would have been an ideal price of petrol from Dangote if all of these other costs are not there?
Well, I'm not in part of production actually. I've been in the marketing of petroleum products. But what I want to tell you is that now the refinery is around the corner. Dangote is already here. And competition will set in. And they said the factors of demand and supply determines price. When there is excessive supply, the price will go down. Everybody wants to sell. It happened in when the telecommunication and all this MTN and SIM card came on board. It was very high. Now it's high. I want to tell you it's high now. I also want to tell you that once Port Harcourt refinery sets in, another modular refineries continue to produce. I want to tell you today that product will come very, very low. And we, the independent marketers, will be the beautiful price. We will now go to where you will get it as cheap as possible.
Well, it's very interesting how everybody's angling for Nigeria's love at this point. But final note, where did you get your product from the last time?
NNPC. We were bonded immediately after Mr. President announced the deregulation for the removal of subsidy. We are bonded into NNPCL quota. And NNPCL has been giving us products and has been sustaining the independent marketers. Also, sometimes we buy from DAPMA members. You understand me? When we can be able to, get from NNPCL. But I also want to let you know that all these products, all these sources came from NNPC. So we don't want those that are tripping anymore. What we want is our products should be given to us. We know how we can be able to manage with our marketers. And I also want to reassure you that products will be cheap and it will be distributed as quickly as possible.
All right. When you keep saying that products will be cheap, how
much is cheap is the question.
Yeah, how much is cheap is the question. And you're non-committal to the question on pricing, pretty much says a lot about how much you would be selling even after your conversation with Dangote sails through. But we'd like to thank you very much, Mr. Chinedu Ukadike, National Publicity Secretary, Public Relations Officer, I beg your pardon, of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you all the best in that conversation with Dangote Refinery. Thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I also want to say clearly here that the factors of demand and supply determines price. Once there is adequate supply, price will come down. I reassure you that.
All right. We'll take your word for it. Thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah, God bless you.
Amen. And after the timeout, we'll switch gears to a lighter conversation. We'll be interacting with the OG this morning and be recalling memories of some of your favorite movies of the past and, of course, projecting into the future. Stay with us. We'll be right back.